we're asking what is next exactly for the Democratic Party. Now, after Hillary Clinton's shocking loss, the party entered the now familiar stages of grief, beginning with the classic, let's make a Louis Farrakhan protege head of the Democratic National Committee. The man in question is called Keith Ellison. He's a congressman from Minneapolis, and it looks like the job is his if he wants it.
If we make the average American's needs our priority, people who want to retire, people who want to see their kids go to college, people who want to earn a decent living, people anxious about the plant closing down, moving to another country and selling them back the products that they used to make, if we make those people the priority, we will win, and Donald Trump will be relegated to be a footnote in the dustbin of history.
So this is exactly why second marriages typically fail. So you come off the tragedy of divorce and you make a hasty, unwise decision. This is exactly what the Democratic Party is doing. They're bewildered. They lost. They didn't expect to lose. They lost to a guy they consider morally indefensible. He's a bigot. He's anti-Muslim. He's anti-African-American. So they find the first African-American Muslim they can, really the only one in the Congress, and they make him the head of the Democratic Party. Is that really a wise choice?
I like Keith, and if you heard Keith's message, it sounds like somebody who just got elected to Congress talking about fighting back against trade deals and standing up for the common man in the flyover states. I don't think this has nothing to do with him being Muslim or being black. I think that he's been right on the issue. Because he's a Bernie Sanders guy. He was on the road with me. He's a good guy. He's elected by a whole bunch of people in Minnesota who knows he's a good guy, and he's very much a populist, and I think that's what we need right now.
Oh, come on, Chuck. I mean, look, I agree with you. I think half what you're saying is absolutely right. The Democratic Party probably will coalesce around an economic populist because that's what people want. I get it. But the only reason out of 193, I think, Democratic sitting members of Congress, Keith Ellison got the nod, not because he's got an august legislative record, is because he checks a bunch of boxes that people who like identity politics agree with. I mean, come on.
I would agree with you on this. Dealing with the race of politics within our own party, there's a lot of people like Latinos, African Americans, who felt underrepresented by the establishment Democratic structure, and I think that it's time that we change that. I think Bernie Sanders put a crack in that wall. I think we're going to end up knocking it down and putting some new people in there and having some fresh blood.
Okay, but if you run an entire campaign for a year and a half predicated on the idea that Trump is not acceptable because he's a racist, and then you pick a guy who is literally a Louis Farrakhan protege, black nationalist, separatist, advocate of violence, anti-Semitism, and you make that guy the head guy, I mean, the irony alarms are going off. Can you hear them?
Yep, but I think also people would have said a long time ago Donald Trump would have never got elected with some of his positions either. I think Keith Ellison is a good guy. I think that he will bring the message that we need there. Even if it's not Keith,
so
let's get somebody new in there.
Works? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that I'm not going to judge Keith on things that went on in his past. I will judge him on being a congressman, and the Keith Ellison I've seen on the campaign trail with me for the last 2 years. He's anti-trade, just like me. He wants to see working middle-class people have a break, just like me.
Chuck, can you find someone who's got good trade views who didn't once worship at the altar of Louis Farrakhan? I mean, sure, there's one out there, no?
Maybe one sitting in your chair. What do you know? Somebody like Chuck Rocha should run. I got too many skeletons in my closet, but it needs to be a redneck Mexican who's a populist. That's what movement I'm making right now.
You got my vote. Chuck Rocha, thanks a lot for joining us.
Thank you.